Hello and welcome to Cornerstone's special edition webinar on the innovation funding. And today with me is Ruth Churchill, who will be telling you all about the funding, all the things you need to know about it. There will also be a Q&A session where you can ask questions, and Ruth will be able to help you. Just a bit of kind of housekeeping on this, so you have a heads up. There's a Q&A, so if you want to drop in the Q&A or in the chat screen some questions as you see them come up, or as you think of them coming up as Ruth is speaking, and then we can collate these and in the end of the session discuss them in more detail. There'll be ample time to kind of listen to your questions and answer them all. So please do feel free to ask away in the Q&A session at the end. Over to you, Ruth.
Thank you, Ramsey. I'll just share my slides. Excellent. Can everyone see that fine? Brilliant.
Yes,
so I will begin. Yes, welcome to this rather audaciously titled webinar, the C-PIC Innovation Fund, Everything You Need to Know. I'm Ruth Churchill. I'm the Impact Manager. I'm leading on the fund. So as Ramsey said, I will give you a presentation about the funding, and then we'll take questions together at the end. So what do we need to know about the C-PIC Innovation Fund? Well, you definitely need to know the basics. So I'll give you an overview of the funding. This is funding and support for the next generation of great ideas to take silicon photonics from research towards implementation. Now, what does that mean? It means we're looking for projects that are going to advance the adoption of silicon photonics or accelerate its commercial exploitation. In order to apply to lead a project, you need to be employed at a UK research organisation in any of the 12 UKRI role types and have a contract that lasts longer than your proposed Innovation Fund project. If you're in industry, you can participate as a project partner, collaborating with a lead research organisation. For this fund, for this call, we are making 500k available. And there will be 2 calls a year, so in spring now, and then another call for proposals in autumn. Expect that around September, October time. Maximum project value you can submit is up to 100k at full economic cost, keeping in mind that C-PIC will fund 80%. Now, the source of our funding, the Innovation Fund, is EPSRC. So ultimately, EPSRC rules apply. Therefore, we're able to fund at 80%, which is standard for UKRI funding. Typical project duration is 6 to 12 months. If you have a project that is potentially longer than 12 months, and you can justify that with the impact that you're seeking to bring about, then please do have a conversation with us before you apply. They're not hard and fast 6 to 12, but please bear in mind that we are looking to generate impacts quite quickly. The current call is open. It's our first call, opened on the 12th of February, and the deadline is the 9th of April at 4 p.m. The full details of the call, full call document, a link to submit your application, and a template award letter so you can read the terms and conditions of the funding, all available on our website, cornerstone.suttonfab.co.uk/innovation-fund, or you can scan that QR code. So that is all you absolutely need to know about the Innovation Fund. But I'm going to hazard a guess that what you really want to know is, I can get this slide going. Suspense there. How to get funded. Now, this is the first round of funding. So I can't give you an average success rate, but I can say that we want to fund multiple projects from that 500k, and with the range up to 100k per project, you can do some maths to judge the odds. So I think we can focus today on what can you do to raise your chances of being funded. An important factor will be to understand how your proposal is going to be assessed, because ultimately your proposal needs to progress through our assessment process and then emerge triumphant at the end. So what is that process? Well, first off, we are going to have a sifting where we check all the proposals, that they are eligible and that they're within scope of the fund. And then, should you pass that, then it will go to the panel, where the panel will score the proposals and make decisions about which ones are funded. So you need to pass that initial eligibility check to even get through the door to the panel. So first off, I'm going to focus on getting you through that door and look in more detail about who can apply and what we will fund. So who can apply? To apply to lead a C-PIC Innovation Fund, you must be employed at a UKRI eligible research organisation. Now that includes universities, but also public sector research organisations like MPL, DSTL, UKRI research institutes, for example, Diamond Light Source. There are some catapults that are eligible. Check out the UKRI webpage. It will give you a definitive list. If you're working outside of university, you may still be eligible to lead. You need to be working in any of the 12 UKRI role types. I've had a few questions on what are these. UKRI webpage has good definitions of each of the 12 UKRI role types. I won't go into detail now, but suffice to say, we are looking for a broad range of applicants. So yes, experienced PIs, but also if you're an early career researcher, if you're a member of technical staff, even if you're a grant manager, you could be eligible to apply. So if you're thinking, oh, I haven't led a project before, then check out those role types. You might be eligible to apply. So long as you're on a contract, if you're on a fixed term contract, that lasts beyond the end date of your proposed Innovation Fund project. And finally, I'm going to mention, whilst it's not part of our eligibility criteria per se, you need to have support from your host organisation to apply. We are funding 80%, therefore we're expecting that 20% is a contribution from your host institution. So you need to make them aware of your intention to apply and have that conversation with your department or research office. Now, what about industry? I've had several inquiries from industry about participating in the funding. Startups, SMEs, large companies, they can participate as a project partner. We are asking project partners to have some UK presence because we want to demonstrate the benefit of your idea for driving UK capability. It's expected that project partners make a cash or in-kind contribution to the project. And in-kind could be staff time, access to facilities. We give examples in the call. You might also look into acting as a specialist subcontractor. For example, working with the lead organisation to deliver services, to carry out certain aspects of the project. We are keen to support the UK supply chain, for example, packaging companies. But to note that if you're working as a subcontractor, then that will be subject to the procurement rules of the lead institution. So you need to work closely together with them. And just to say, we are exploring ways to offer funding opportunities to businesses in the future. If you'd like to hear more about that, then stay tuned to the end because I will be mentioning about our membership and how you can keep in contact with us. So what kind of project will we fund? We are looking to fund a broad range of projects as well as a broad range of applicants. These could be what we've termed technology readiness interventions or market readiness interventions. Now, technology readiness interventions are collaborative projects between academia and at least one industry partner. A letter of support will be required. These are about advancing the maturity of silicon photonics technology, and they should be driven by industry needs. So technology readiness interventions, or TRIs, are likely to appeal to those working in R&D, innovators, collaborating with industry on an industry-defined problem or opportunity. Market readiness interventions are about establishing the market opportunity for a silicon photonics technology. Industry partners are not required here. This is more likely to appeal to your kind of entrepreneurs, those looking to start up. Market readiness interventions, or MRIs, are about testing product idea, the validity of a business plan, the supply chain. And we give examples in the call of the kind of projects that might fall into those categories. Projects can involve any technology platform or any application area. The key thing is that they're about advancing the adoption or accelerating the commercial exploitation of silicon photonics. So they need to be commercially focused, responding to industry needs. This is not about funding discovery research. And that is shown by the kind of outputs we're looking for the projects to produce. For example, demonstrators, prototypes, patentable work, knowledge transfer between academia and industry, early stage commercialization, training, so experience in different sectors, and collaboration between academia and industry to strengthen the ecosystem. But finally, what is a strong proposal? We've got through the door, we've got through the initial screening. Your proposal is being assessed by the panel. The panel is looking for strong proposals. They are looking to fund, and they're going to bring their expertise to make their decisions from different backgrounds. There will be panel members from scientific backgrounds and panel members from commercial or more business backgrounds. So not everyone is going to have the same technical knowledge of silicon photonics. Therefore, my top tip would be to make sure that your proposal could be understood by a non-scientist. So ask a colleague working in a different area to read it, ask a family member to read it. That will bring a new level of clarity to your proposal. And yes, whilst our panel is going to be diverse in terms of backgrounds, we are giving all panel members the same clear guidance on what to look for in a proposal. We want to fund proposals, so we are giving you that guidance too. The assessment criteria is written in the call. That is what our decisions will be made on. We are looking for quality of the proposal. Is it aligned with the aim of the call? Is the approach credible and effective? Is it aligned to C-PIC and our aims? Now we link in the call a link to our strategy. It's a couple of slides. Please do read it, because this is about fit to funder and fit to scheme. Is your proposal speaking to our longer term objective to translate silicon photonics technologies from research labs into industry? That fit to the funder is critical. We want to know why us, why this fund. You need to demonstrate industrial and commercial relevance. The panel needs to be convinced this is an important opportunity. So think about what would happen if you didn't get the funding. You need to convince the panel there's a greater risk of not funding it at this time. We want to see a good awareness of the market or evidence of engagement with industry. If you are applying for a technology readiness intervention, then that industry engagement needs to be shown through a convincing letter of support. That shows you're highly engaged with the partner and you're working together to co-create the project. We are looking for strong impact potential, so projects with a good chance of commercial success. For example, growth, economic benefits, benefits to society and the kind of application areas that you're going to be impacting, whether there's environmental benefits, for example, in aiding the transition towards net zero. We want to see that those impacts are responsible. You know, you thought about the ethical, societal implications of the work that you're carrying out. And you're also looking inwards into your team and ensuring that your research, your approach to research culture is also responsible, that you're embedding equality, diversity and inclusion within your team. Are there opportunities for early career researchers to experience training and development? Are members of the team going to grow through doing the project, working across different sectors, getting new opportunities? If there's an element of international collaboration, then we want to see that you're aware of any security issues around, for example, dual use technologies, that you've thought about the risks and you're managing them. We want to see that your team is able to deliver on the proposal. And that's not just about having super experienced PIs involved who've got long list of publications. We're looking for a balance of experience, skills, and backgrounds so that you're bringing different perspectives, ideas to the table, and that your project is well resourced to be able to deliver in the time frame. And that also extends to a clear breakdown of costs and resources. You've thought about the risk to delivery, and you put in place suitable mitigations. And then finally, we ask you to define success, which is really where you can show your vision for the project. We want things that are ambitious, but also doable. You know, we are looking for impacts. This is, you know, up to 100K for a 12-month project. So keep that in mind. A strong proposal is going to light up each of those boxes as the panel goes through. So please do use the criteria that we have provided. Signpost to the panel. Don't make them search for it in your application. That could make the difference between a project that falls below the funding cutoff and the one that sneaks over it. To finish, I'm going to ask sort of a question to you. What do we want to know from you? Well, we want to know whether you have ideas about shaping future applications, future calls for funding. Where would you like to see the funding directed in future calls? Are there particular application areas that we should target? How can we make the call more accessible to you, make you more likely to apply? Are there any gaps in what we're doing? Now, we've launched our free C-PIC membership to bring together the community, to share ideas and to shape the direction of the programme. If you are interested to join, please visit our website. It's cornerstone.suttonfab.co.uk/membership. We'll be holding workshops for academic members and industry members on the 1st and the 2nd of April, where we will seek your views on aspects of the programme, including the Innovation Fund. So do sign up if you're interested. There will also be future opportunities to engage. It just leaves me to say thank you very much. Good luck with your applications. And if we have any questions,